Immigration is a big part of Canada. Each year we take about 200,000 immigrants and refugees in our arms. For this, globally, we are acknowledged as the country with open arms. Even now, more and more refugees are coming into our country. About 21% of the Canadian population is immigrants. Most of the immigrants that come to Canada settle in Ontario, Quebec, and BC. Toronto has the highest population of immigrants. A lot of immigrants mean a lot of foreign people, who mostly have no reliable job for the first 6 months to a year. Fortunately, Canada gives child support money if your kids are below the age of 18 in Ontario, but these freebies do result in a higher tax rate. The taxes we pay mostly are used for schools and healthcare. Our problems with the First Nations or the Aboriginals has been here for about as early as Canada itself. First Nations have always been discriminated and looked down upon as a very unsophisticated society. Because of this, they never really got a big say when it came to politics. But now their rights are far better than before. A registered Indian status has many benefits when living in Canada. For example, when an Indian status person is going through secondary or diploma program, they get financial assistance from the government. As of right now, Premier Trudeau is also working on better housing and food supply for the Aboriginals. Even though we have many mistakes when it comes to First Nation treatment, I believe we can form a friendship again like how they tried to form a friendship when the European settlers first came to Canada. Canada has a vast variety of landscape, from grassy plains in Manitoba and Saskatchewan to the Rocky Mountains in British Columbia. Where you settle depends on where you come from and where the best living conditions are for you. Many people settle in areas like Vancouver, Toronto, or Calgary. All these places have their own advantages. For Toronto, it's warm, the lowest being -7 in the winter. It has a high competition in profession jobs such as doctors, engineers, or teachers. Now, because it's located in the St. Lawrence lowlands, there are plenty of forests here. And if you're from Southern Asia, there is a lot of company for you here. Over 27% of Vancouver's population is Chinese. Even though it's more up north than Toronto, it's still warmer than Toronto, with the lowest temperature being 2 degrees Celsius in the winter. Calgary is the coldest one out of the three, with the lowest being an average of -13 degrees in winter, but usually the temperatures plummet down to -25 degrees in winter. Aside from the British people, there are a lot of French and Scottish people in Calgary. Those are the three main cities to settle in Canada. In my opinion, Toronto has the best living conditions for me in terms of ethnicity.